Hello, welcome to Meanwhile in the Falklands, the podcast from Falkland Islands television.
Woo.
I'm back.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a bit of a different voice presenting today.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. Isn't it a lovely day? We've got the window open, so you'll probably hear some traffic and stuff go by.
We've just had ambiance, darling.
Yes. Yeah, and we've just had an ice cream.
Yes, we have.
So it's like we're...
It's almost like someone in the UK.
We are embracing
Are you allergic to almonds?
Almonds, no.
Oh, okay.
We are embracing the Southern Hemisphere summer.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely. Spring.
Absolutely.
And look, new thing for me is...
not wearing any shoes.
Well, I'm not wearing any shoes. I'm not wearing my glasses because normally I have a list of things and I have to put my glasses on. I'm not putting my glasses on, so I've written them on the board over there, look.
Oh.
I'm gesturing, listener.
Gesturing at the board.
It's a good thing you can read them because I can't read that board.
I can't read it either.
Oh, yes, you can. Yeah. Under the three things that annoy Paula that I've had to write on there today. But there's some notes for the podcast. So let's talk about what was happening on the weekend, because we had
busy.
Such a busy weekend. So we had the first Country Music Festival.
Yes.
Luckily, the band were on the same flight that we were on that was 24-hour delayed. But anyway, we got here. Big concert on Saturday night, Town Hall, jam-packed. You guys, sterling job at the bar, you guys.
Thank you very much.
Blue bottle flies.
Yes, running around non-stop pretty much.
Yeah, but you did a really, really good job.
Did you like my PC version of Blue Bottle Flies?
Yeah, it's all right. I noticed, yeah.
But it was good fun.
No,
it was one of the most manic bar shifts I've ever worked.
Yeah, they did a damn good job, didn't they? The East Lonesome Drifters,
yes,
who were down
did.
there. Have a look at them on I don't know if they've got a Facebook page at all.
I think they do.
They are on YouTube, and if you
YouTube.
catch Falklands in Focus this week, the episode that's along with this programme, you'll be able to hear one of their songs as well as a smaller performance they did in one of the local watering holes.
Which is week 4, 5, 3. Now, we have had some issues with it because we did some stuff on the phone, didn't we, on Saturday night, and we did some stuff on the DSLR later on. And unfortunately, with all the all the work that we were having to do, we didn't get a chance to actually interview them. So all the other media in the islands managed to get to interview them, but we didn't.
But so that'll be coming in the next few weeks.
Yeah. So we've got a few bits and pieces that are coming over the next few weeks. Hopefully,
stuff in the works.
Yeah, we'll have that out. But anyway, this week's programme has got a little shot of them playing out, so it was really nice to have them over here.
I mean, we prepared
really nice guys.
Yeah, we prepared this for months, and the night was amazing, and they were really nice to me. I still don't know what honky tonk means.
Neither do I. I don't think it really has meaning. I think it's more of a feeling.
You got to feel it, do you?
Yeah.
They need to come back, basically. Yeah, they need to come back so they can tell us more about honky tonk.
Yeah.
So that was just one part of everything that was going on the
that
weekend.
Technically wasn't work.
Yeah.
So what did you? Because you were. Did somebody tell me you spent all of Saturday in the pub from 5 o'clock in the morning until 11 or something?
No, I didn't spend any time in the pub. I actually didn't.
That sounded very guilty.
For once, I'm telling the truth. That does occur quite often.
Oh no, you didn't, did you? Because I thought you'd gone to...
skipped the pub. I missed the England-New Zealand game. I'm bitter about this. Are you sure you want to bring this up? I'm still not okay with this. I was watching BBC Breakfast this morning, and they're sat there going, the England-New Zealand game wasn't just the best game of this World Cup, but probably the best England performance in rugby history. And I was like, yeah, and I missed it because I was setting up a stupid town hall for a stupid honky-tonk that I don't even know what it means. You remember the can of worms, portafoams?
Thomas is not very happy about that, obviously. But you were filming something on Saturday, though, weren't you?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I filmed the table tennis tournament, which is always great fun. The table tennis guys are awesome. I spent most of the island games in Gibraltar earlier this year following them around. Yeah. So, I know them quite well.
So they're used to you stalking them?
Absolutely. Those men and those paddles? They're paddles, right?
Yeah,
they're not
paddles.
rackets.
Yeah.
You see, I know a lot about table tennis, do I do?
Definitely seems like it. There's something on the board about Cecil's sparkly eyes.
Oh yes, so you did this, you filmed the table tennis on the beautiful Canon 5D. Canon, if you're listening, send us another one of your cameras because they're brilliant. And I had to stop and just take a moment as I was putting it in the programme because your interview with Cecil was just beautiful. Was just absolutely beautiful.
The camera did all the work.
It was beautifully lit, it was beautifully composed, the depth of field was gorgeous. And to the extent that he had these little sparkly eyes. And
But Cecil has those in real life, so I'm glad the camera could capture
it was brilliant.
the magic in Cecil's eyes.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And tell us about because obviously a piece by you would not be complete if it didn't have a push-pull focus, which you managed in that. Just tell us about the excitement that happened.
The leisure centre's great for it. I mean, you can go as far back as 2.5 years ago when I first joined FITV, and I did a piece on ball hockey. There's a ball in the foreground and players in the background, and you push ball, and that's like, I'm doing it with the table tennis ball because, of course, why wouldn't I? And I got there and I was focused on it, and I started filming, and someone opened one of the fire doors. At which point, the table tennis ball, which is very light, starts rolling across the screen. So I panicked. And my initial reaction was grab the table tennis ball because it's going to ruin my shot. And I knocked the camera. At that point, I realised, this might be quite good. So I did the little push as it went off the screen, and I think it worked. I think it works better. I'm kicking myself that the camera jolts a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I kind of had this mini freak out, and I think if anyone, it's one of those where you really wish someone was filming you filming, because the number of times this occurs where something happens and I have like a mini freak out, like a split-second heart attack behind the camera as my body decides what to do. But yeah, it was one of those moments.
It's good stuff. It looked nice. So Carl, you and Hannah on Saturday morning, you were filming the parkrun.
Yes, we were. We were up bright and early at 9 o'clock in the morning, along with all the other mad people that decided to go out for a run.
Early.
It's early on a Saturday, and as someone who very rarely gets up before like 12 o'clock on a Saturday, it was very, very early. But
the weather looked a bit challenging.
The weather made it worse. It was extremely windy. Wasn't raining, thankfully, but it was very, very windy, which actually I think gave the runners a bit of a benefit because I think it was coming up behind them.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of spurring them forwards a little bit.
But didn't they go to the end and can then come back?
Yeah, well, I think what was happening is it was coming in from the side, so it wasn't impacting them as much.
Okay.
But yes, they were running up the Cape Pembroke track, down to the lighthouse and all the way back. And they got like almost 200 people there. Yeah. And we had the great fun of me standing up through a sunroof outside the car, filming them as they were coming down the track.
Is that beautiful shot you've got that's at the very beginning of the start of the race? Yeah. But it's not a race, is it?
No, it's not. It's just you try and get the best time you can. It's all very casual. It's all very social, nice. But yeah, I was halfway out of the sunroof, holding onto the gimbal with two hands, going, if I drop this out of this car.
Paula will kill me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But
because
luckily,
it's one of those where the shot looks almost like it could have been a drone shot.
Yeah.
Because it is stabilised and it's that slow movement backwards as you're going along.
It did look lovely.
I think it turned out pretty well.
It was a really nice package. I went in to say to you.
Yeah.
But some of the shots are just absolutely, well, most of the shots are fantastic.
Who was your favourite runner? Was there someone who stood out for you? Because I mean, it was quite eclectic in terms of the people there.
My favourite runner was Sam Cockwell, who unfortunately we didn't really get much footage of. But he had this giant bag on his back, and inside the bag was his little child.
Oh, it was Eddie?
Yeah, he was carrying him along on his back as he was running along, and I was like, that is adorable.
Oh,
and like first, like we saw them running up, and I was like, oh, that's a big backpack that he's holding. And no, it was his son.
Oh, that's really nice.
So looking back at the footage, mine had to be Tom Busbridge, who works at the fisheries
definitely
running along with his dog. That's
Paddy.
I mean, he's a gorgeous man, and you were saying, there's
it's
something
the hair.
magical about him.
It's the golden Goldilocks hair that he has.
He's a bit surfer dude, isn't he?
He is a bit surfer.
I reckon he could pull off Prince Charming in any of the Shrek films as well, just without the arrogance.
Probably.
Okay, no, the arrogance is there. He's just nicer. Okay, maybe he's not. He is just Prince Charming.
So then Saturday night we were doing the bar.
Yes, we were.
We finished
Honk
about
that tonk.
about 12:30. I think you guys went off because you had an early time.
We had another early morning.
Tom,
we left on the wrong side of 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I left on the wrong side of 2 o'clock. More people, I think, to help out with the bar next
definitely.
time. But Sunday, you and Hannah did a massive camping adventure.
Yeah, we had a big old road trip all the way up to Johnson's Harbour for the motocross. It was the first bit of the motocross that I've covered while I've been down here, which was interesting because I didn't really know what to expect or what to do. But yeah, it was good, and it was such a beautiful day compared to the Saturday, which was all windy and overcast and horrible. The Sunday was clear blue skies. There was like barely any wind, and I said to Hannah when we were there, with the hills at Johnson's Harbour, because they've all got that lovely green glass in it, and with how blue the sky was, Do you remember the old Windows wallpaper of the big green hill?
Yeah.
I went, that's exactly what this is. Because it looked exactly the same. And it was
cool.
absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we were up there filming motocross, trying not to get too covered in dirt.
It was a slightly different package from what we're used to as well, because and this is what I really liked about it, because the viewer will look at a package that we filmed at Johnson's Harbour and it will just be like, you know, okay, they were there, they filmed it, but you actually filmed you going out to it and getting ready for it. And I think that brought it a little bit more. Actually, we do make an effort to go.
A nice behind the scene aspect of it,
Well, seeing as, because we were doing two things on the Sunday, we were going out to Johnson's Harbour for the motocross, and then we were going straight from there to MPA because they were having an open day. And we thought, why not make this a little bit different, make it more of a kind of a day in the life of, and kind of a mini road trip of us grabbing all of our stuff from the office, getting into the car, driving all the way up to Johnson's Harbour, doing a piece of camera in the car, doing a couple of pieces of camera while we're there, and then doing a fancy snap transition that the lovely Caroline had taught us in her Mojo workshop, and then transitioning directly into MPA, where we were talking about like the fire engines and all that kind of stuff, and then showed us coming all the way back and putting the stuff away and going, ugh, aren't we so tired? But no, I think it turned out really well. We were a little bit worried that it might not look as good as we were hoping it would, but I'm very glad to hear that you enjoyed it.
I thought it was great. I mean, it kept my attention the whole way through, which is a big thing. Very good on that. We did notice, so if you're watching along with this week's programme, it's week number 453. There's a court report in there with Carl doing his papdepoopi hands.
He was doing the Italian.
Yeah, he was doing the old
the pizza hands.
Yeah.
Well, one of the members from the East Lonesome Drifters actually is Italian, and we were talking about when we were having lunch the other day. We were talking about papdepoopi hands and under the table deals, and the fact that they spin their hands around in a circle. That means there's an under the table deal going on. So we were talking about the gesticulation from Italians and what each one of them means. So there we go. We will be able to call them more than just papdepoopi hands soon. We'll be able to actually give a name to each individual movement.
Oh,
there
wow.
we go.
Okay.
Oh,
Hannah has just
arrived
back
with all kinds of cakes and goodies.
with cakes and goodies. So Hannah, while you're here, and you just put, I have noticed that there's some hideously fluorescent liquid on your desk that you seem to be consuming. Can you just reassure me that you're not drinking?
It's not
radioactive
freezer,
stuff?
like the freezer, deep freeze whatever, de-ice and stuff. No, it's Barocca for energies.
Okay.
Product placement.
Other vitamin supplements are available. Yes, is what we said to that. So let's go on to the fact that it's Halloween tonight. I mean, we've got a little ident from Tom, our graphics guy. He did a little ident at the end of the programme that's quite spooky.
Yeah.
I think
just a bit.
On that,
It's got a couple of scares.
I think the sound on it as well makes it scarier, which
definitely.
he had it really subtle to begin with, and I was like, no, go back, do it again, make it really loud, make it really spooky. Every time he came back with the new version, I was like, louder, I want ghost noise, and I want them louder.
So you all prepared for tonight for Halloween extravaganza?
Yeah, no trick-or-treaters in my house.
You're not having trick-or-treaters?
No, I'm out. I'm never home during the evening anyway, so I won't be there.
My plan is the usual Halloween of keeping all the lights off to make it seem like I'm not there, so no trick-or-treaters come and knock on the door.
You're lucky.
So the thing is, Kyle does buy the sweets.
And just eats them himself.
And there we go. So I saw him buying sweets the other day, and I thought it was for Halloween. So now we can tell it's just for himself.
Well, you've got to treat
down
yourself.
here in the
Self-care.
Falklands, you're very lucky because there is a Facebook page, actually, because most people are on Facebook. There's a Facebook page called something like Happy for Halloween or something, and people will go on there and say, yes, you can come to this address, so that the children know who's got stuff already, so they're not knocking on people's doors that maybe don't want to be disturbed. So that's a great idea.
Perfect example of a small community, isn't
definitely.
it?
Well, the next thing is Halloween in the Falklands. The children here, if they can get hold of the penguin eggs. You boil up a penguin egg, boil up a rock-hopper penguin egg, the white stays clear, and when you've peeled it, you've got this bright red yolk, this clear white, and then you stick it in a bowl of cooked cold spaghetti, and you've got yourself some eyeballs and some worms there, look.
That's horrible.
I mean, that
the
just-
look on your face, Thomas, is just a picture.
Just first of all, the thought of it is disgusting.
Yeah.
But secondly, why are you killing penguin eggs for the sake of Halloween?
Well,
No.
just to reassure you, listener, you have to have a license to collect penguin eggs
Yes.
for starters. And secondly, you're only allowed to collect them at certain times of the year because if you collect them early, they will lay again. So
I hear they're very fishy.
I've heard
Yeah.
that too. I've never eaten one. I don't really want
I
to.
can't imagine they taste very good.
Apparently, they make a really good meringue.
Oh,
I
really?
mean,
Yeah.
I won't lie, I probably would try it.
I would try it. You've got to try it.
Yeah, but
We,
I
do
have
you know
seen
what? We
pictures
might,
of
we
it.
might get you on
I-
and film it just
Is
before
that my
you go.
leaving present?
That's your
is it?
leaving present.
Oh.
We'll get you a
The
we'll
FITV
get you a
Penguin Egg Challenge.
Oh.
So let's
Don't.
talk about, because Thomas has got 1 month left with
Yes.
with FITV.
Literally, in 6 weeks today, I fly to Canada.
Oh God.
So
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
if you have a look at Thomas, he looks completely different from what he did this morning when he was on the news, because he went home at lunchtime and scraped his face.
Yeah, scraped it real hard.
Yeah.
Tell us why.
So, a part of the Falkland Islands rugby team, 12 of us, are going to get a calendar done, and we're going to participate in the worldwide global event of Movember, which takes part. You essentially go clean shaven at the very start. For those who don't know, you probably do. But for those who don't know, from the very start of November till the very end, you don't shave your moustache. You shave everything else, but you just grow the moustache out. So it's raising awareness for male health issues such as different forms of male-specific cancer, especially, and suicide. The aim is really to stop men dying too young. With one of the campaign's mottos is they aim to reduce the number of men dying prematurely by 25% by the year
That's cool.
2030. So that's the aim.
In the UK at the moment, there's quite a movement with not pancreatic cancer, prostate cancer.
Yes. Which is
And
one of the things covered underneath.
Horrific statistics on that.
Yes, one of the ones covered underneath Movember. Actually started in 2003 in Australia,
Yeah.
according to the official Movember website. This is started by two mates who went for a quiet beer in a pub in Melbourne. I just wanted to say the name of the bar and the area of Melbourne because it
Yeah.
sounded so Falkland Islands.
Oh.
It's the Gypsy Bar in Fitzroy.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
really?
That is
How
super
Falkland,
Falklands.
yeah, how Falklands is that?
Well, if you're listening to this and you know the Gypsy Bar, or you're indeed from Fitzroy in Melbourne, give us a shout.
Absolutely, and if they don't, I need to be talking to Susie and Gilberto at Fitzroy in the Falklands, and they need to open their own gypsy
No,
bar.
exactly.
Do a little twin town.
Do a little
Wow.
twin
Yeah.
pub. Started in 2003 as two mates were at the pub, and they were talking at first about getting the mustache back and
Yes.
getting the movement, the fashion movement back. And they were like, well, if we're going to do this, let's do it for a cause. And they were inspired by one of their friends' mums, who at the time was raising money for breast cancer awareness. So they went out and they sent this email blast to about 100 different male friends of theirs, and 28 of them came back and said yes. So they were the first ever 30 Mo Bros.
Is that what you're going to
They
be?
call
Mo
themselves
Bros.
Mo Bros and Mo Sisters now
Oh my
because the
God.
ladies get involved as well with
What
it.
do we do? Not shave our legs or something?
Oh, I didn't quite read the lady bit, I must admit. But yeah, started as 30, and now they claim that more than 5 million men and women around the world participate every year. So yeah, they were just thought about, hey, let's bring the tash back, and they made sort of a joke about it on the first year and raised a little bit of money, $10 each to start it, and then every single guy took it so seriously that the next year they were like, well, how about we set up an actual Just Giving page for
that's
this
cool.
and dedicate it to a charity, and it has just bloomed since then into the worldwide movement that we know of Movember now.
Wow.
First year I've ever taken part, and as I said, the rugby team and I, we're all going to have a calendar made at the end. So we have, our deadline is today to submit a clean shaven picture.
So we've got some photographs that we're going to put on our YouTube.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this on the iTunes platform or SoundCloud, then pop over to YouTube, our YouTube channel. Let's have a quick look at that, because we're going to pop up your pictures.
I'll probably pop some of
Up
them on
there.
our Instagram
There was
tomorrow.
some-
So
as
what
well.
did we say that he looked like?
There was one with a goatee that I said you look like a sailor from the 18th century.
Yes.
And then there was another one where you looked very RAF.
Which my grandpa would be very proud of. He was in the RAF, so
Yeah, there's some very different
You'd have fit in up at
photos there.
Mount Pleasant.
I sent all of them to my girlfriend, and she's left me on the blue tick, so hasn't replied to my WhatsApp messages. So I think that that goes to show that the beard was the only thing she was truly interested in.
Yeah, you walked into the office earlier and I was kind of taken aback by it.
Kyle described me as, you know, in horror films when you get kidnapped and murdered, and
I didn't say kidnapped and murdered.
Yeah, pretty much.
I said in the horror film. You know those horror films where it's like someone disappears and comes back, and they've been replaced by someone that looks kind of similar, but there's some weird difference. That
Okay,
one
so it's like someone's been.
Yeah.
It's like a weird doppelganger of myself.
It's like the body snatchers.
But I read between the lines. Kyle meant that I went and got murdered and came back looking funny.
So there was a little bit of hilarity earlier on in the week, because who interviewed Dr. Barry Ellsby about the second flight?
That was me,
Yeah, so you were looking at some shots of check-in at MPA and stuff like that, which was done years ago. I think it was on the first season.
2.5 years ago.
So you've got some serious skater boy hair going on there, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I had my big surfer dude skater boy hair. It was my snowboarding look. If you go back to the first cover photo on the FITV Facebook page that I'm in with yourself, Paula, and Chris and Michelle, and I've got quite long hair and a little bit of stubble there. I haven't gone clean shaven in at least 4 years. So much so that shaving hurt. I don't like shaving. I felt really horrible.
So we've got the shots of that as well. You did a little time lapse for us.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it was a bit up high, so most of it's just the top of my head. But I think it's
You've
quite
got some funny reactions in there.
And some product placement.
And some product
as well.
placement.
Yeah, so that well, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
19th of November, I think, is International Man's Day, which we normally bring out. I was going to say we normally bring out the testicles, but what I really meant was we normally bring out the testicular cancer article that we did.
What are the testicles?
Well, no, the thing is,
Dr. Song has said she will she'll
redo
a current one if we would like.
Cool.
So
because
Kyle,
back in April,
yeah, well, you can do it as beforehand.
yeah, back in April, we had there was a week that we were really struggling for news in April, and I was heard to shout, "Thank God it's testicular cancer week!" So we had it out there. Maybe we need to look at something else.
That's things you've heard in the news, then, isn't it?
Yeah, near that at the BBC, would you? I was measuring Thomas's inside leg yesterday.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah, I think we'll look at some other kind of male health.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
For November, and see if we can highlight that. Because men are particularly difficult and to go in.
They're very stubborn
the
about
doctor,
seeing a doctor.
Especially when it's about your bits and pieces and stuff like that.
My bits and pieces are fine. Don't know what you're talking about.
Extremely defensive.
I am defensive. I've lost the protection that my beard was providing me with.
Anyway, looking at this time, hey, aren't we doing good? I'm not sworn yet, and so this is going out in one piece. This is.
Well, would you look at that?
Yeah.
Why does it say lipstick up on the board?
Because I was a bit concerned about my lipstick.
Oh.
But it actually looked alright, so I don't really want to draw attention to it.
Okay, so now everybody go and
yeah.
watch Falklands Focus, episode 453, and just stare at Paula's mouth.
Yeah, it's a new lipstick for me. If you've got any comments about my lipstick, please send them in.
So you crazy golfing at the weekend, Paula?
I don't know, I think I might, because I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were, because the girl guys, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't done the run up to this, but the girl guys have said to all their people, make a crazy golf hole.
Yeah, they've got like themed crazy golf holes and stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
And I think you could apply to do one or make it particularly about.
Yeah.
Oh, a bit like the Christmas tree.
Yeah, like the Christmas tree stuff.
Challenge kind of thing.
Yeah.
Except with my one of my friends from university, she actually got married a couple of weeks ago, and she had a wedding-themed crazy golf in the chapel as well.
Really?
So there's photographs of her kicking the butt of her husband at crazy golf post-ceremony.
Oh my God.
But whilst like in her
Brilliant.
dress, and one of the holes is the chapel, and
Oh, that's really cool.
That's
which I thought was
amazing.
quite a quirky, and she was quite a quirky person
Yeah.
anyway, but it was very in keeping with her personality, I thought.
So we've got that on Sunday at 1 o'clock at the FIDF hall. Next week, we've got something on pretty much every day.
Yeah,
There's
well,
it's a
an
busy
art
week.
show.
I think we should avoid talking about work here and just focus on the fact that Saturday morning is the Rugby World Cup final that England are in, and if people aren't getting up for that one, then
Yeah.
you're a disgrace to our whole country.
So you
That's
can
right, I
watch,
said
if you're in the Falkland Islands and you're thinking, I really want to watch that, get up at 5 o'clock, get onto ESPN HD, which you can get through KTV. Although you're probably a bit late to actually subscribe to KTV at this late stage. But yeah, you can watch it live on ESPN HD through the KTV platform. So later on next week, you've got the art show at Hillside, which should be quite cool.
Yes, yes
Well,
We'll have a
indeed.
few local artists.
Yeah.
Forgot the word artists then.
No, art is, that reminds me of Talk Like a Pirate Day when
Don't stop
Kyle
bringing
had
this
to
up.
say art as a
Ah.
pirate, and he just went art. So again, go back a few weeks, find the Talk Like a Pirate Day piece,
Good
because
on
that's
that.
just
No,
so
it's bad.
funny. It's Kyle's Luton accent coming through.
Poppy Ball next Friday, which we will
Yes,
film a
indeed.
little bit of,
Yep.
but not a lot of it. Remembrance Sunday, of course, Sunday the 10th, down here, down at Cross's Sacrifice.
Yep.
Yes.
So that'll be a big package for next week. And that's it, really. Then we're
Yeah.
oh
Well,
my
what
goodness,
date-
and it's like
and what date
halfway
are you
through
away?
And
November.
I'm flying away on Tuesday.
You're
Oh,
Tuesday
are
the
you?
12th.
So you're going
Yes,
back to
Tuesday
the
the
UK for a
12th.
little bit.
Yes, I am. And I've got a ridiculously packed schedule already.
As always.
Oh.
Ridiculous. Although it's all fun
gonna
stuff.
It's not going to be a holiday, trust
No,
me.
It's all fun stuff.
So
though.
it'll all be changed here at FITV over the next few weeks. You got Thomas in his last few weeks, Kyle. And let's not do any
That's-
copyright
yep.
music.
Oh, it's way too out of tune for copyright, come on. And I'm pretty sure that anything on podcast and radio, as long as it's under 10-15 seconds, you're clear.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that
Yeah, I am.
actually.
That one,
Kyle's
I'm
going
getting
off to the
done with copyright real
UK.
quick.
Carl's going off to the UK for a little hollybobs. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Looking forward to
We'll
it.
have our new FITV person. We're not going to say who it is
No.
until they come.
It's a
Actually,
surprise.
Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Is
Who
it a plane?
knows?
It's Superman!
who knows? So they should be with us by the end of November.
Yeah.
Hopefully before you leave, Thomas. It's going to be the first time ever we've had a handover week.
Oh, I know.
Because usually it's just
Well, to be
like
fair, there was a handover week with Hannah and Katie when they got here, but it was so frantic having two of them.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit crazy.
I can imagine.
Was there a handover week for you?
No, there wasn't.
No.
No, I got here and you were gone. You picked me up from the airport and you left 2 days later.
I did.
And I didn't see you for a month.
There you go.
So I said, okay, here's my new boss,
And then
Michelle.
then we're into Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got some great things sorted for Christmas for the
Don't
Christmas
worry, I'll be
Challenge
sending
concert.
you some selfies all the way from Canada.
Okay, well we'll be doing this Christmas Challenge concert here in Stanley, and Carl, you're going to love
There's
this.
big plans for this,
There's
and I don't
big
know how
plans.
I feel
I've
about
got
them.
the costumes already. it's going to be great. It's
So
going to
if
be
you
great.
saw
It's
the
going to knock the fire service out of the park.
if
That's
you
all
saw
right.
the Christmas Challenge concert entry by FITV last year, think that, but on a bigger scale.
Yes.
Ooh.
Much bigger.
Oh, is that a
That-
nice
that's-
tease?
that's
Is
a
that
nice
tease? Yeah.
Anyway,
So
I'm
you're
going to give
going to
a
miss
big.
this when I'm gone.
Let's give a big shout out to Stephen, who emailed us many months ago saying, can we have a bit more sport, which we have obliged, I think,
Yes.
most weeks. So Stephen, you've got some light table tennis and
And motocross.
motocross and,
And
stuff like
Movember.
that
That counts.
going on there.
Park running as
Um,
well, yeah.
A shout out to John at Charlie's Taxis, who took us to the airport. I love Charlie's
Oh.
Taxis. He's promised me he would download the podcast and listen to it. So I hope you've been
hear
entertained,
that, John?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll join us next week. And let's see how many people are left.
Yeah.
See you
Pretty
next
interesting.
week.
That's quite scary, isn't it? How many people have doppelgangered? There we go. Bye.